Hey, what is up? Dalton and Cloud here. So today we have another revamp of a previous certification we've gone through before. This is going to be for CompTIA's Network Plus. So previously we went over the 007 CompTIA Network Plus. This time we're going over the 008. Those changes, the comparison between the two domains, uh, what we're going to see on the new domain update, and then what vendors for learning platforms already have the new updates and changes to their curriculum. Without further ado, let's get into today's video. But before we do that, if you could go ahead, tap the notification icon and then hit that bell so you could get updates for future videos like that. That would really help boost us in the algorithm so we could get this content to more people. All right, so first stop, we're going to this blog post made by Aline Ristata. This was back in September of last year. So this is when they were first going through the changes for the N10 TAC 007 to 008, and just what those changes included. They go over what jobs you could potentially get with this role, what this role was intended for, what are the TAC 007 domain exam domains versus the TAC 008, different things like that. So we're not going to see too much changes in the 007 to 008. Most of this is going to be the same. It's just going to be a little bit of how it's weighted. So networking concepts for 007, we have networking concepts coming in at 23%, infrastructure coming in at 18%, operations coming in at 17%, security coming in at 20%, and troubleshooting coming in at 22%. The differences in that between the 008, networking concepts, aka fundamentals, is going to come in at 24%, so it's going to be weighted a little higher. Infrastructure, this time it's going to be a network implementation. That's going to come in at 19%, so again, weighted a little higher. And then the others are weighted a little less, except for the troubleshooting and tools section. So network operation is going to come in at 16% instead of 17. Network security is going to come in at 19% instead of 20%. And then network troubleshooting is going to still come in at the 22% compared to the previous domain. So you're not going to see too many changes between the 007 and the 008 as far as like the domains. I mean, it's going to be more coverage, but the domains are kind of going to be the same. It's just going to be how they're weighted differently and what's going to be a bigger topic to cover. This just shows like why there were the changes that there were, why there's new subjects that are going to be covered, and what changes are really coming with the industry and why those changes were being made. It's just how to train for the Network Plus, and they say, self-study, classroom environment style, it all depends on what you want to look into. They talk about their options, which we'll go over that here in the next one. But so first, let's go to the main page for the exam. So here we're going to get the overview. Again, it's just going to say what skills you're going to learn. Just here's the domains here for the 008. It says the launch date of the 08 and the 007. So 007 was March 2018. This one just, last September. And then the retirement date for 008 is June of this year. So it is coming up. And then retirement date, they don't have one for the 008. So you can take both exams still. You have until June 30th to take the N10007. The domains are so close You can just get a refresher on the 008, I feel like, and you could just use that going forward, and you could take the new exam if you would like, or if you don't really feel comfortable doing that, you could take the N10007. That's fine, but again, you only have until June 30th of this year to take that. So here we're going to kind of get into pricing and preparation. So just like all the other, or most of the other CompTIA exams we've gone over, you don't have to retake the exam. You could actually obtain CEUs, for example, and to renew your certification, either continued education program, that's what they have, where you could just utilize blog posts, you could sit in lectures, different things like that to get these credits of validation to prove that you're staying up to date with your education and you're continuing your knowledge. For example, I still have a few more credits I need to obtain to renew my Security Plus certificate. So I will be probably trying to sit in a few lectures from Professor Messer. We'll get to him in a little bit. And then different ways I could do additional work in the community to obtain those credits. And then if you want, you could just go here and learn more about the continued education program that they have and how you could get those points to renew your certification if you already have one. But then getting over here, you have the Network Plus exam voucher. This is going to be $348. If you're just getting the exam voucher, for example, for the Security Plus, I was overly prepared. I got the exam voucher and the retake and the study guide. I didn't use the study guide at all. I preferred my own material that I utilized. But I personally was over prepared and I passed with flying colors for the Security Plus. But nevertheless, I always try to go for the basic bundle just for that exam retake, because you never know when you're going to have like a trick question on there that's just going to throw you off your entire game and you're going to bomb the exam. It happens to everyone. But you don't have to get that. And also, I got repaid for the 348 or whatever it was for the Security Plus exam by my work. So that's why I felt more confident going in and taking the basic bundle. Then they have the exam prep, which includes everything from the basic bundle, and it includes the CertMaster practice for Network Plus. And then the e-learning bundle, it's just everything CertMaster, Learn, Lab, everything for $1,000. No, for one. For two, the exam prep bundle for the CertMaster practice. So that's hit or miss. I've seen some people say it had nothing to do with the exam. It was terrible. It's hot garbage, and they hated it. Some people said they swear by it. They would never take a CompTIA exam without it. So at this point, it's a he said, she said. So do your own due diligence. Sit down, think if you actually would like to use that. I don't think you need it. I think one of these options are going to be your best bet. That's just my opinion. Going forward, we have our first vendor on the list, CBT Nuggets. CBT Nuggets is great. They're amazing, awesome. They don't have specific updates for the Tech 008. I'm sure it's going to be coming. Keith Barker is one of their instructors. He's amazing. Great instructor. He's awesome. And again, as I said, there's not much changes between the domains. So if you already have a CBT Nuggets license, you know what? I'd use it, because there's not going to be that many changes between the two. You could get away with studying most of this and then just grabbing a couple practice exams for the 008 from one of our other instructors we're going to go over, right? But I will say that normally for network training, they are the best option you could have out there. So, You go over here, go to their Cisco training. They have some of the best Cisco training out there on the market. Hands down, you have the CCT data center, you have Cisco CCNA 200 Texas 301, you have the CCNA lab assessment online training. You have a lot of stuff from them for a Cisco based, and they are the kings of Cisco training, in my opinion. If I was going to do online training to get a Cisco exam, I'd probably go with them. Um, Again, their prices are going to be a little bit higher. You could save money if you go annual. Instead of being $60 over 12 months, you're going to be $600 for a year, or you're going to be $60 a month. So I do love they usually do great with practice exams. They usually go through a very strong vendor in the market. This time they're going with Cyber Vista. So they do a great job when it comes to practice exams. They have virtual labs, they have IT focused training library, app and offline viewing, playlists, coaching. So someone's gonna help plan your goals you want in life with you. So that's great. Quizzes, IT learner community. They have a great community that's very involved with each other. You could check out their LinkedIn to see how involved they are. Certificates of completion, just a lot of different tools. Now, the great thing I like about this compared to a lot of vendors that we go over, A Cloud Guru, love them to death. IT Pro TV is the one-stop shop price, right? You're not gonna go in, you're gonna have one tier that gets you access to one thing, and then another tier gets you access to another thing. It's a one-stop shop price. Everyone's on the same playing field. It just depends on how much work you put in. Anyway, great vendor. Love them. You could go with them if you have a license. They are a little bit more expensive, but if you're choosing networking, they have the best instructors on the market in networking. So next up, though, Throwback Thursday. Just kidding. It's not Thursday. It's Monday. Throwback, though. So Mike Myers, he's taught everybody from the age of time about the CompTIA exams, right? He taught your grandpappy how to. He is your grandpappy. He's the grandpappy of IT learning. He has a great team over with him at Total Sim. He has Joe Ram helping him out with this video. I've not seen any of Joe's content, so I can't attest to that. I have had Mike Myers training before in the past. To me, I've always had a little bit of issue with Mike's training, only because it was a little bit. It's not dull. He does his best to keep it energetic and exciting. But you can only make networking so exciting for for one. For two, it's just really dry content. So, but he does his best. He's an amazing instructor, as you can tell from the ratings. He's had 2,774 students for this course. Here you're going to get 21.5 hours of on-demand content, 21 downloadable resources, full-time access. And if you're a new user, you could get it for $15 a month. Otherwise, wait till it goes on sale. Next up, I'm sorry, this is one of the best instructors currently, in my opinion, for most of the three main objectives for CompTIA. It's going to be Jason Dion. He's amazing. I'm sorry. Jason does an amazing job. He has his own website. You could buy his content from there. It's more expensive. You're helping support him more directly. So if you've already taken stuff from him and you want to support him more, maybe buy it from his website. Otherwise, buy it from here, from Udemy. So he already has just like Total Sim Team. Jason already has we're just going to call it the TAC 008. We're not going to keep doing the whole abbreviation. So he already has the TAC 008 updated. This is the full course and a practice exam. I believe it's 60 questions on this exam. Let's go down to the bottom. 90 questions. So he does have one 90 question test on the exam, which is great. It's going to run you 15 bucks, 26 hours of on-demand content, one article, two downloadable resources, and one practice exam with lifetime access. But you're not just going to buy that, right? Because you want to be overly prepared like I was. You're going to buy that, and you're going to buy his 6 extra practice exams for his TAC 008 exam. So, you know, each one of these practice exams is 90 questions. I know this is the route I went when I went for my Security Plus. And I've got to tell you, I didn't even go through all the practice exams, and I was overly prepared for taking that exam. So I probably did the course, I did the practice exam on there, and then I did, I'd say, 4 of the 6 practice exams he had. Same scenario. It's the same type of practice exams, and I was so overly prepared to take the exam because of Jason Dion and his content and his team. Um, so this is probably one of your best bundles. Uh, I am going to be biased here. This is probably one of the best bundles you could get for the price. Next up, we have Pluralsight. So there's one thing we love about Pluralsight is here it is. So when you're taking your next exam, you want to save money, right? Save money, use Plural 10, get 10% off your next CompTIA exam. So they always do that. It's a great thing they have going with CompTIA. I'm sure there's a handshake in between the two companies where they could get that, and they always have that code available for their students. Doesn't matter as long as it helps us in the end save money. So use that whenever you're going for your next CompTIA exam. Good on you, good on them. Helps them out, helps make sure they're letting people aware of CompTIA, whatever we're going to take the exam anyway. So I do like something about Pluralsight. I've never liked Pluralsight. I'm going to be honest. I've always had access to it. Any company I've ever worked at, I've always had access to Pluralsight. I've never been a fan of it. Never, never, never. Um, but since they've been growing their content team, they acquisitioned A Cloud Guru, they've had a change. It seems like now they have one instructor for every exam topic. So, or for like, every certification, for example. Ross, he's the only instructor teaching this. He gets to be in charge of this entire curriculum. Amazing. Great. And as you could tell, the reviews have been amazing. Um, so I think they've done a real 360. I could actually full-heartedly recommend Pluralsight now. They always have deals on their different licensing. I don't know what's going on right now, but as you see, you could win up to $1,000, skill up for free, and you could win. But they always have deals. You could always try their content for free. They have different deals to save money. Every Black Friday, every winter, they always have a deal going on to save 33% or something like that on a year's license. So keep this in mind when you're going through and taking this exam. Next up, IT Pro TV. We're not really gonna get too much into the pricing. I mean, you could look it up here when we're looking at this. Start a 10-day free trial, then it's standard. It's gonna be 25 bucks a month. Premium, it's gonna be $37 a month, or $29 a month for monthly, $45 a month for premium. My mistake. $37 a month for yearly, or $24 a month for yearly for standard. So, and then it kind of goes over what the differences that you're going to see in that entails. So you're not going to get access to the labs. You're not going to get access to the sandbox. That was something I think that they got when they got a Cloud Guru. And API access, trend analytics, usage and analytics, all this fun stuff, right? You won't have access to all that. Then all these great companies who use them, swear by them, yada yada. I didn't mean to yada yada them. You know what I mean. Anyway, you get a lot when even when you have a standard license through them though. So I would even, keep that in mind when you're going through and looking at this. And I really do like their skill IQ test. I use that whenever I'm trying to see how I stack before taking an exam. Next up, IT Pro TV. Ah, okay. So IT Pro TV, they've always been amazing. I can't not support them, and it's not just because we come from the same state. They're just an amazing group of people, right? We love IT Pro TV. We see Mr. Wong over here. They have just amazing instructors. They're already on top of their game. They already have the Tech 008 on here. Their pricing isn't that bad, especially compared to everyone else in the market. So we're going to go over their pricing. You always have access to free stuff when you sign up. You get access to a couple certification. They're like really entry level certification stuff you could get access to. And every single other or every once a month, every weekend, they once a weekend every month, they have a free certification you could go and try to obtain. So it's usually like not just a certification, but a certification vendor. I believe it was 2 weekends ago. It was Cisco. So all their Cisco training was for free. And they always do CompTIA. You could always try to catch a weekend where they have CompTIA content for free. If you don't want to pay and you have the weekend free and you're just going to go through and grind it out, that's an option. So standard access, as I said, it's not expensive though. For monthly, not even paying annually, it's $30 a month or $50 a year, which is comparable to Pluralsight. So if you're thinking of it that way, maybe go with Pluralsight, or it's going to be, oh, it is actually comparable. Or it's going to be $300 a month, or $500 a year. Now, the difference is, and I don't think that they have. Yeah. So one of the differences and why I do love IT Pro TV, just like CBT Nuggets, they do have access to, like, they do have this pay barrier for practice tests and virtual labs. I think I personally, I'm not sponsored by them, so I could say this. I think they need to remove that. I think that's going to hurt them a lot by having a pay barrier for taking practice tests or virtual labs. That's just not really a perk anymore. That's standard practice, as you could tell going through these other vendors. But the one thing they do have that's a perk that's really putting them ahead of the pack is this learning coach services. That's amazing. I feel like they are doing an amazing job with that, and that's one of the better options. And the only other team that does that is CBT Nuggets, and it's still going to be cheaper to go with IT Pro TV if you're going that route. And just like CBT Nuggets, they have a wide selection of different certification vendors that you could go and you could get exams for. Next up, or lastly, I guess I should say, Professor Messer. We love Professor Messer so much. Professor Messer is amazing. Any of the video content you buy through him, he gives you for free through his YouTube channel, right? He answers questions live. Live. I think it's every single week he answers questions live. You honestly can't go wrong with his content. I remember when I first started looking into getting certified way back when I was a wee, not even in help desk position, right? I was just getting interested in the topic. I got one of his flashcards sent to me. This was, before we just bought the PDF book from online and used that. I got a card sent to me. It was like $20 or something for CompTIA A+. He put so much useful content in that little laminated card on the front and back. And he handled it with such care. It was amazing to see an instructor do something like that and go that far for his students. You are going to know how to pass the exam if you take his course. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So, you have the ultimate study pack here. $429. You save $50. He has a bunch of other plans that you could go through and look at and utilize. So there's the network plus videos. As I said, he offers all this stuff for free. Go through, study his stuff for free. Course notes. Here is where you could see like the different bundles he has. He has the PDF, $25, audio course, $60, audio, video download, study group audio, study group Q&A, exam. As I said, he does the Q&A live every day. Exam hacks, ebook, everything, $100. You don't need to pay for more with $100 just to get all that, right? That's an amazing deal you could get for $100. Yeah, I honestly don't think you could find any other resource that's going to be more useful than the ones listed today. These are the ones that are vetted and used by other people who have passed the exam recently. These are the only instructors I think that are going to give you the most relevant content. There's other vendors out there. I'm not paying for them. I'm never going to pay $1,000 for some instructor to feed me stuff to pass the exam and not know anything about what I just learned. You can if you would like, but I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't go that route. I'd go with one of these instructors. There's some that it's going to be mostly self-taught. It's a big hurdle, but if you just sit down, you put your nose to the grindstone, you could get it done. If you want any help with study tips, just let me know. I'll help you go over whatever I can, whatever I know. Other than that, if you stayed here with the video until then, wow, you're a trooper. Thank you so much. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video.